You know what's wild? The average American has 3 credit cards. 3. And collectively, they're carrying about $1.1 trillion in credit card debt. That's more than the GDP of most countries. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Credit cards aren't designed to help you. They're designed to make money from you. And the system is so clever, so perfectly engineered, that most people don't even realize they're paying for convenience they think they're getting for free. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how the credit card industry fools you. I'm talking real numbers, real stories, and real losses. And by the end, you'll understand why a free rewards card might be costing you thousands. Let's go. First, you need to understand, credit cards aren't a payment tool. They're a business. A $130 billion a year business. Here's how it works. When you swipe your card at a coffee shop, it looks simple. You pay $5 for coffee. Done. But behind the scenes, at least 4 different companies just made money. The card issuer, your bank. The payment network, Visa, MasterCard. The acquirer, the merchant's bank. And a bunch of processors in the middle. Let me break down what actually happens with that $5 coffee. The merchant, the coffee shop owner, pays a discount fee. Usually 2 to 3% of the transaction. On a $5 coffee, that's 10 to 15 cents gone. Doesn't sound like much? Over a year, a small coffee shop doing $2 million in revenue pays $40,000 to $60,000 in credit card fees alone. Then Visa and MasterCard take their cut, about 0.5% on top of that. They're like the middlemen taking a percentage just for existing. In 2023, Visa made $29.10 billion in revenue. MasterCard made $18.9 billion. They process transactions. They're basically a toll booth for money. The card issuer, your bank, gets interchange fees. This is the big one. It's usually 1 to 3% of every transaction. On that $5 coffee, that's another 5 to 15 cents. But here's the kicker. The issuer also gets your annual fees, if you have a premium card, APR on any balance you carry, and fees for everything, late payments, foreign transactions, cash advances. And the merchant? They eat all of this. Which is why a lot of small businesses actually lose money on credit card transactions, especially if someone's buying something cheap. So the entire credit card system is built on this. Somebody always pays. If you think it's free, you're not the customer. You're the product being sold to the merchant, and you're carrying the price for the merchant to accept your card. But that's just the foundation. The real game starts with interest. Let me tell you a real story. This is a composite of thousands of real cases. Meet Sarah. She's 28, makes $60,000 a year, and has a $2,500 balance on her credit card. The APR is 18.99%, which is actually below the current average of 21%. She got the card for emergencies. She used it for a few things. Some medical bills, some car repairs, a vacation with friends. Nothing crazy. Just normal life stuff that she couldn't afford up front. Now, she's only paying the minimum. $50 a month. Here's the math that nobody shows you. With an $50 minimum payment on a $2,500 balance at 18.99% APR. Month 1. $39.95 goes to interest. $10.05 goes to principal. Month 2, $39.80 goes to interest. $10.20 goes to principal. This pattern continues for 6 years. 75 payments. Total paid, $3,750. Total interest, $1,250. She's paying 50% extra for the privilege of paying slower. But wait, it gets worse. Because most people don't maintain a single $2,500 balance. They spend more. Let's say Sarah is like 70% of credit card users and keeps putting things on the card. Even small purchases. Over those same 75 months, she adds another $3,000 in charges. Now her total interest is $2,800. She's paid $5,800 total for $5,500 in actual purchases. And if she has an emergency during those 6 years, a car repair, a medical bill, she adds that to the card too. The balance doesn't go down. The interest compounds. This is the trap. And it's not an accident. It's deliberate. Visa and MasterCard have done the math. They know that 50% of credit card users carry a balance month to month. They're making money not on the 2% cashback they're advertising. They're making money on this, the interest paid by people carrying balances they can't afford. A person with a $5,000 balance at 22% APR, paying $200 a month, they'll take 33 months to pay it off and will pay $1,650 in interest alone. That's the real profit machine. Here's another angle, revolving debt. Let's say you pay off your balance every month. Great, you're avoiding interest. But you're doing exactly what the credit card company wants you to do. Why? Because you're the whale. You spend more. You're valuable. You justify the 2% they're paying in rewards. Because that 2% comes back tenfold in transaction fees from the merchant, in data about your spending habits, and in the psychological effect of the card itself. A 2023 study from Northwestern University found that people spend 23% more when they use a credit card instead of cash. 23%. It's real. It's measurable. Why? Because swiping a card doesn't feel like spending money. Your brain doesn't process it the same way. Handing over $100 in cash hurts. Swiping a card? It's abstract. It's painless. And so you spend more. The credit card companies know this. They designed it this way. They chose the card over cash, the digital transaction over physical money, because it works. It makes people spend more. Let me give you some real numbers from real people. Story 1, The Rewards Trap. Michael is in his 40s. He has a premium credit card, $550 annual fee, 2% cash back on everything. He justified it. I spend $30,000 a year on this card, so I get $600 back. The fee pays for itself. This is mathematically true. He breaks even. But here's what the credit card company is counting on. Michael feels like he's winning because he's getting free money in rewards. So he doesn't feel guilty about charging his $40 a day coffee habit. He doesn't think twice about the random purchases. The card becomes his default. And actually, he now spends more, maybe $35,000 a year, because of the psychological effect. That $500 extra spending means the credit card company makes money on the merchant side. They get his data, and his wallet is now captured. If Michael carried even a 2-month balance at 20% APR once during a year, that $600 in rewards is gone. He's now down money. Most people are Michael. They think the rewards are free. They're not. You're paying for them in 2 ways, higher prices at merchants, which get passed to consumers, and behavioral economics. You spend more when you use a card. Story 2, The Medical Debt Spiral. Jennifer had cancer. Treatment was $80,000 after insurance. She had a job, savings, disability, but it wasn't enough. She got offered a medical credit card at 19.99% APR. She took it. It was that or go bankrupt faster. Within 4 years, after paying $40,000 into the debt, she still owed $65,000 in principal and interest combined. She was paying $1,200 a month on a $50,000 annual salary after taxes. She eventually filed for bankruptcy. She lost her house. Now, is this Visa's fault? Partly. But it's also the healthcare system's fault. But Visa knew she was in a vulnerable position. They knew the odds of repayment were low. And they lent anyway, because if she paid even half, they'd make more interest than they'd lose in default. This is risk management. Bad people get offered credit they can't afford because the math says some of them will pay most of it back. And if they don't, tax write-offs. The bank doesn't lose sleep over it. Story 3. The International Student. Priya came to America for college. To build credit, she was advised to get a credit card. Smart move, right? She got a $500 limit at 22% APR. She used it for books, groceries, occasional going out. She paid it off most months. By the time she graduated, she had a 750 credit score. Great credit. Then she didn't get a job for 3 months. Her emergency fund ran out. She put $2,000 on the card. Now she's paying $2,500 monthly rent in a new city. She's got $5,000 in student debt at 5% APR. She's got $2,000 on the credit card at 22% APR. She's paying minimum payments everywhere. And the credit card? At $2,000, it's going to take her 26 months to pay off, costing her $1,400 in interest, 70% extra. All of this was normal. Nobody told her she was being played. Let me be very clear about who makes money in the credit card game. 1. Visa and MasterCard, pure profit engines. They process $14 trillion globally in transactions. They take a percentage. They own nothing. They take no risk. Pure middleman margin. 2. Credit card issuers, banks. They make money 4 ways: interchange fees, interest, annual fees, and penalties. 3. Merchants, kind of. They have to accept credit cards now because everyone expects it. So they're not really winning. They're just surviving. Who loses? 1. Credit card users who carry balances. You're paying 15 to 25% APR. That's wealth transfer from you to banks. 2. Merchants. They're paying 2 to 4% in fees to a system that makes credit card companies $130 billion a year. 3. People with no credit. If you don't have a credit card, you can't build credit, and you'll pay higher interest rates on mortgages and car loans. You're forced into the system. The system is a pyramid. Money flows up. And the credit card companies have created a world where you almost have to participate. Here's what most people don't understand. Credit card companies hire behavioral psychologists. They test everything: the color of the card, the minimum payment message on your statement, the notifications you get, the rewards you see. A 2021 study found that just changing the language on a credit card statement, making the minimum payment more visible, making the interest cost more visible, reduced credit card debt by 5 to 10% on average. Why? Because awareness changes behavior. The credit card companies have deliberately made the interest invisible. Your minimum payment is highlighted. Your rewards are highlighted. Your available credit is highlighted. But your interest rate? It's often buried on page 5 of your terms and conditions. Your statement shows you the $50 minimum due. It does not show you that you'll pay $1,200 in interest if you only pay minimums. The notification on your card: you have $5,000 available credit. Not, you have $5,000 in debt you're already paying interest on. This is intentional. This is engineered. And then there's the social engineering. Affluent people get higher credit limits. Why? Because the companies know wealthy people have lower default rates. So they push more credit onto the people who are least likely to hurt, while poor people get rejected or offered predatory terms. It's a system that makes the rich richer and the poor poorer. Literally. Okay, I'm not here to tell you not to have a credit card. That's not realistic. Credit is necessary. But here's how to actually win. Rule 1. Never pay interest. If you can't afford to pay off your entire balance in 1 month, you can't afford to spend that money. Period. Not, I'll pay it off next month. You will pay it off this month or you don't buy it. This single rule eliminates 90% of credit card company profit from you. Rule 2. Forget the rewards. If you're changing your behavior to get rewards, you've already lost. A 2% rewards card that makes you spend 20% more. You're down 18%. Only use rewards on things you were already going to buy. Rule 3. Understand your APR is negotiable. I know people who call their credit card company and just ask for a lower rate. My rate is 22%. Can you lower it to 19%? And the company does it. Not always. But often. Your payment history matters. Your credit score matters. You have leverage if you use it. Rule 4. Automate your payments. Set up automatic payment for your full balance every month. Remove the option of screwing up. Rule 5. If you have a balance, attack it. Not minimum payments. Calculate what it'll take to pay it off in 12 to 24 months maximum. Throw money at it. Every dollar you throw at high-interest debt is a dollar you're stealing back from the bank. A $5,000 balance at 20% APR costing you $1,000 in interest if you take 4 years to pay it? If you pay it off in 1 year, you only pay $550 in interest. That's a $450 gain. That's not saving, that's earning. Rule 6. Avoid the fees. No annual fees unless you're using the card actively and the benefits exceed the fee. No foreign transaction fees if you travel. No cash advance fees. Never take a cash advance. The APR is usually 27 to 30%. No late fees. Automate it. Rule 7. Check your statements. Credit card fraud is rampant. $193 billion globally. Check your statements. Dispute unauthorized charges. The credit card company has fraud insurance. You have a zero liability guarantee in most countries. Use it. Here's the thing about credit cards that nobody wants to admit. They're a voluntary system. You don't have to have one. You choose to. And if most people chose not to, the credit card companies would have to change how they operate. But they won't, because the system is too profitable, and we're too addicted to the convenience. So here's my real advice. Credit cards are a tool. Like any tool, you can use them to build something, or you can use them to hurt yourself. If you use them to build, to buy things strategically, to build credit, to get rewards on things you were already buying, you win. If you use them to spend beyond your means, to borrow money you can't repay, to carry balances and pay interest, you lose. And the credit card company wins big. The dark truth isn't that credit cards are evil. It's that they're perfectly designed to exploit human psychology. And most people don't even know they're being played. Now you do. If you found this valuable, hit subscribe. I break down the systems that take your money, from credit cards to investments to inflation, and show you how the game actually works. And hey, if you use credit cards, drop a comment. What's your strategy? Are you paying interest, or are you paying them off monthly? Let's see who's actually winning in the comments below. Thanks for watching.